Yeah, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, my people. Good day, good day, good day. Welcome to another update from Charlesbar TV. Yeah, this afternoon we'll be talking about Kwankwaso alliance with Peter Obi. My brothers and sisters, I just finished watching an interview on Channel TV with Mr. Kwankwaso talking about his alliance with Peter Obi. After watching the interview, I was so sad about his arrogance, the way he talked down on Southeasterners. He talks as if only the Northerners have the monopoly of power, that without the North, nobody from Nigeria can rule. It's an insult the way he generalized, talking down on Southeasterners, that they cannot produce the president, that the only choice we have as a people is only if Peter Obi will be his deputy or his vice, that is the only opportunity the Southeasterners can get. My brothers and sisters, this is so annoying. I think Mr. Kwankwaso should be compelled to render an apology to the Southeasterners. He have to apologize. This is an insult to us. It's an insult. We cannot take this anymore. Why is it that the Northerners believe so much in themselves that they think without them, nobody else can be the president of Nigeria? Without them, no one can rule Nigeria. This is unbelievable. I don't believe this. All of them, Northerners, especially these Fulani Kabas, they believe, Last time when I made a post on my Facebook talking about the possibility of Peter Obi becoming the president, but many people criticize it. Yes, my people, you have to watch this interview and you understand the arrogancy in this man called Kwankwaso. The way he talked down to the Southeasterners, he don't even believe that another person can ever be the president except him, more especially someone from the East. My brothers and sisters, you people should just listen to this interview and see what I have said earlier before. These Northerners, they believe so much in themselves that Kwankwaso, he said that he can never be deputy to Peter Obi, that if he does that the Northerners have only one voice to vote. And they have made up their mind to vote NNPC. That if Peter Obi did not be his vice, that he's going nowhere. Kai, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. My people, the Easterners, we need to rise up. We need to wake up. We need to do something about this. We need to do something about it. The Northerners, they have insulted us for a very long time. They have been doing it. I think this is time for us to wake up. This is the time for us to change the narrative, to let these useless cabals call themselves the Northerners, that they don't have the monopoly of power, that power can change, that we the Easterners, we can do something, we can change the narrative. Just relax and watch this interview. It's unbelievable. You will not believe what this man said about Peter Obi and his ambition to be the Nigeria president. Just relax. Don't go out. Watch. Just listen to him by yourself. Then you understand when I talk about that there's nothing like one Nigeria. You people will not believe me. There is nothing like one Nigeria. These Northerners, they believe in themselves alone. They don't believe that another person can do it. Just relax and watch. Yeah, and as you are watching, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Charlesbar. Share my post. You can join us on our Facebook group, Charlesbar 561, for more updates. Yeah, just like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Just relax and watch.
But tonight, let's speak with the presidential candidate of the NNPP, a former governor of Kano State and a former Minister of Defense, Senator Obi-Kwankwaso. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very
much. I
know
you had a rough ride coming through from the airport, but thanks for making it tonight.
Thank you.
Have you agreed with Mr. Peter Obi on aligning or joining forces?
Thank you very much, Sean. Well, for now, we are discussing with so many people, individuals, groups, and even parties, and we'll continue to discuss with them, believing that at the end of the day, we should be able to come together with some people that together we can take the leadership of this country at all levels, at state and federal level. And I believe that's the situation now.
Yeah. Have you met? Because there was a time that I was supposed to meet with you before you joined the Labour Party. Have you since met with him physically since then?
Well, not yet, but our committee had the opportunity to sit down and do some discussion together. And I believe that it is highly likely that we are going to meet and discuss the issue of coming together to work as a family so that Nigerians will have an alternative to PDP and, of course, APC. I'm just coming from Gombe State. We have seen how people at grassroots level, not only in the south, but even in the north and everywhere in this country, who want positive change. And positive change is very important and very critical to our country. We have seen the situation today in terms of economy, in terms of security, in terms of education, infrastructure, and so on and so forth. And people, the voters of this country are yearning for change. And I believe we will only be fair to ourselves if we come together and work and bring out a real alternative for the people of this country. And I'm happy to say that even at the moment, the NNPP, even though very new in some ways, just about 4 months, but it's everywhere in this country, even beyond our own.
You're on the ballot in several in several elections.
Not at national level. I contested in 2015.
No, I'm saying the NNPP. You're talking about the NNPP, and I'm saying recently that your party seems to have been having some inroads.
Oh, yes,
and it's perhaps what Alhaji Buba Galadima was talking about, the ability for you to set up a structure.
Yes.
But the question is, are you optimistic about the alliance with Mr. Peter Obi? Do you think it will happen?
Yeah, well, I believe that it will happen, but I believe also that there are some challenges that we are having, especially from the side of the Labour Party itself, because there are so many influences, some on their side positive and even the negative side. We have a situation today where there are some people who are in other parties who are always also influencing the decision of that party, which I believe is not good for the party. I've just reading in the social media and even people very close to the party that the presidential candidate is very close to one of the leaders of the PDP, which we are trying to verify. But I think the source is very genuine. That is contact with him while he is in a party, the PDP, supporting the candidature of a presidential candidate from the north in that particular party. And of course, saying that the presidency must go to the south and the other party that's in our alliance. And that's really to weaken our own party. And,
so you see some war of attrition.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So, it's happening. And I mean, with all of this, you are hopeful that Peter Obi and Obi-Kwankwaso might be on the same poster, on the same ballot for the same party. But which party could that be? Could it be the NNPP or the Labour Party? Because now merger is almost impossible now. You probably will use either of these political parties. Would it be NNPP or Labour Party?
Well, my belief is that there are so many modalities that can be worked out to work together. It's just a matter of getting the right caliber of people to sit down and look at the situation as it is. Now, you see, the major issue as it stands today is the issue of who becomes the president, who becomes the vice president. And I believe this is the time really to advise, especially those who are positively behind the candidate of the Labour Party, that this, for me, I have seen an opportunity for the Southeast to be relevant in the next dispensation. In NNP, in PDP, they are completely out. So also in the APC. The only opportunity now is the NNPP. Now, we are aware that in the social media, a lot of work is going on. The young men and women, especially of the Southeast extraction, are working towards getting a presidency. But the fact remains on the ground that even the entire zone, any zone in this country, decides to vote for a particular person, that person, going by our constitution, the provision in the constitution, cannot be president. And I think the constitution was deliberate to ensure that everybody is involved in the country. And I believe that it is in the interest of the Labour Party and the NNPP, and even in the interest of this country, because we have seen a situation today where many people in the Southeast believe that they are being marginalized. And it will even be worse, actually, if they are not involved in the 2023 project, because LP, as it stands today, certainly it cannot win election.
Really?
Oh yes, it cannot win election.
It cannot win a presidential election.
Not
Why
in
do you think they cannot?
Well, because mainly the support is mainly in particular zone. There is just no spread, and the figures there cannot earn anybody presidential seat in this country.
But they're saying that they have the workers, the labor behind them.
Well, maybe you don't know the history of the labor itself. We tried to be in the labor when we were sourcing for a particular party. After INEC told us clearly that it was not willing to register any party between 2019 and 2023, the party was actually factionalized. If the labor is there, of course, and the labor is a union, is all for all of us, especially the NNPP. Because we are the people, we are the party that actually is sympathetic to workers in this country. I was a civil servant myself for 17 years in Kano. So ordinarily, if not because of what I'm doing now, I would have been a retired officer myself. This is the situation as it stands today.
Now, you are afraid of a fifth columnist within the Labour Party. Is it the major reason why you are not, why things have not come to fruition?
Well, I believe so, and I think the Labour Party and, of course, all the supporters of the Labour Party, especially my good friends and brothers, people of the Southeast, I have a particular, in fact, many reasons why I personally, as Obi-Kwankwaso, is sympathetic to the Southeast. And I think the relationship between the Labour Party and NNPP will cool down a lot of issues in the Southeast as it stands today, because that's the only way the Southeast can be relevant. We don't want a situation whereby a particular section of this country would feel that it's being marginalized. And already we have a lot of tension there. And this tension is not good for the Southeast. It's not good for the country. We have a situation today in this country where in that part of the country, Mondays, the whole zone is being shut. So many people are being killed. So many businesses are being wasted, and so on and so forth. And that is why I take this opportunity to say that the leaders at that level should think positively so that this marriage can work. They should avoid talking to the people. You know, in this part of the country, we have at least the person the people are talking about in the social media and so on and so forth, who pretends to be very close to Peter Obi himself, while everybody knows he has a political party. He is promoting the person in that political party in the PDP, yet pretending to say, look, we want the president to come from the south, especially the southeast, while we had somebody from the south.
Who is this person you're talking about?
No, we don't want to have to go to that details now, but the details will certainly come very soon.
But Mr. Obi needs to be weary of such
I think he should be concerned because he himself believes that he's very close to him. And he is misleading him. He's misleading the Labour Party and so on and so forth. So you see, the idea is if this marriage works, for example, with Obi as the president, the implication is his own candidate in the PDP will be the biggest beneficiary, because the North today, you see, the way we operate politically in this country is not very clear to many people. Fortunately, the Northern voters have always got their own opinion. And it is hardly influenced by any elite or anybody we can think of. For example, if you look at the issue of the case of Muhammadu Buhari, over the years, the Northern voters decided that it was him. And even when the elites, most of the elites didn't like him, they still don't like him, but they made up their minds over the years that any time we had an election, he will have certain votes from the Northern voters. And these Northern voters, again, have made up their minds on what to do.
Right now?
Vote. Oh, yes. There is nothing, nobody, no elite.
Have they made up their mind? Who are they hoping to vote for?
The Northern, certainly NNPP. Nobody can change it.
I mean, you say you do. How did you know this?
I'm just from going around the country, and we have our structures everywhere. And that's the situation. Now, you see, the game plan was to make sure that Southeast is not involved in this project. Mm. And the implication is that now is double-edged sword. If, for example, anybody, I'm not particular about Peter, anybody from the Southeast, under this circumstance, will be very difficult, really, for voters, because they have made up their minds. Mm.
I mean, so if you look in the way of someone like Kingsley Moghalu, for example, which people are talking about,
who?
I mean, Kingsley Moghalu, the former deputy governor of the state.
Yes.
Are you considering him too?
No, anybody. You see, we are open. We're still up to 15th of this month. You see, whether Dr. Moghalu or my friend Peter Obi or any other person from the Southeast. Now, I believe that we'll be very happy. And even anybody from the South. So
you're hoping to pick a running mate from the Southeast?
That's my choice.
Okay. Things
being equal, that's the choice of our party. Because you see,
or maybe they're even thinking that you might be the running mate to Peter Obi?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is what the enemy outside there is saying. The implication is that if you put somebody from the Southeast, unfortunately, there are many issues in the Southeast. You see, Northern voter is the worst hit on this issue of maladministration in this country. But even under that circumstance, a Northern voter also believes that he is better with one united Nigeria. And therefore, most of the things that are happening in the South, especially in the Southeast, people are not comfortable with that. And as long as you have somebody from there in any party, it will be very difficult for the Northern voters to vote. And that's the situation now. And those workers who are against, in the actual sense, working against LP, Southeast, and so on, what they believe is if you put anybody under this arrangement from that side of the country, the Northern voters will not vote. And who will they vote? Their own candidate in the Southeast, I mean in the North.
So can you or would you be a running mate to Peter Obi?
That's what I'm saying.
Would you like to be as a person, personally?
Ordinarily, you see, I'm jobless now. I'm not doing any job.
So
to become a vice president,
you can be a vice president.
But what I'm telling you is that if anybody from the South is now under this circumstance, becomes the presidential candidate of our party or any other party, the implication is that because of the activities and many other issues that are real on the ground, northern voters will certainly go for their northern candidate in another party.
So the thinking
is that it's not whether I like it or I don't like it. The fact remains that
the numbers,
everybody will lose. The number he will lose, I will lose.
So if Peter Obi is coming to join you, it will be your running mate.
That's as long as you want to vote from the north, that's the situation, fortunately or unfortunately, today.
Is this the reason why you said Peter Obi cannot win without you?
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that any zone, no zone, even the Northwest, where I come from, which has got the biggest number of voters in this country, and they are very much willing to come out en masse, more than ever before in this country because of the realities on the ground. Before 2015 election, there was close to nothing in terms of banditry, people who are being killed, houses and properties being destroyed. It was not there. But in the last 7-8 years, we had all these issues on the ground. So certainly you will have so many people, many millions of votes are coming out of the Northwest and even in the North, because people are concerned. It's not only a particular section that is concerned, because people are worried. People are angry with the situation on the ground, and therefore people are willing to come and vote. We have seen a situation where we have a lot of mobilization from a particular zone or zones of this country. And as that action is taking place, there are also a reaction from all parts of this country, especially from the north. People, the young men and women are registering themselves even in the north. And I'm sure they will continue to do that, especially with the increase in terms of number, in terms of days that were given by INEC. So, you see, people will come out and vote, and they will come and defend their vote. And we are happy the president has signed the electoral law, which will make it a little bit more difficult for people to go and rig an election the way they did in the past.
So, I'm very sure that you are quite familiar with what is happening online. There is a popular saying now that obedience is better than sacrifice. Have you heard that?
Well,
and those are the campaigners for Peter Obi.
Yes, people are campaigning, are saying so many things. And you see, in politics, as you are making, pushing up something there, it causes a reaction. And you see, that sort of campaign, I hope people will look at both sides of the equation. The situation that we are today and the way people are campaigning, especially based on ethnicity, based on religion, it doesn't help anybody. What we want in this country is politics. What we want in this country is anybody who can come and bring the country together. The way we are operating now is not in anybody's interest. And people, especially politicians, are even worsening the situation. So my prayer and hope is that people will think positively. We are not campaigning based on religion.
All right.
I'm not campaigning based on my ethnic group or anything. And anybody who is doing that, I can assure you, no matter how many of them in terms of religion or ethnicity, it will fail. And that's the situation on the ground.
So, your confidence now, maybe you can wrap up on the issue of your possibility of alliance, is your confidence is, should you have a Peter Obi on the ticket with you, on the ballot with you, you are likely to win the election. That's what
certainly the chances will go up, because we have seen the Labour Party and the candidate himself, especially in the last few months, so many activities are taking place, especially in the social media you mentioned.
You think that the presence is not really on the ground, it's on social media?
Ordinarily, though some of us who are infantry on the ground, under normal circumstances, we are not worried about people up there. But the point is, a lot of sentiments are going on. And I'm personally worried, very much worried, even about the security of the country. When people are talking, are campaigning in places of worships and so on and so forth, it triggers a lot of reaction. And it creates a lot of problems. It divides the people rather than uniting them. I am in politics, not trying in any way to divide this country. What we want in this country is democracy, based on realities on the ground, based on development, peace, stability, and progress of the country. Now, anytime we go back to our religions, our zones, our ethnicity, and so on, it creates a huge tension.
Well, I mean, you mentioned the issue of security. You're a former Minister of Defense. You are from the northern region of the country. The northwest, your region, is badly hit by banditry. And the thinking in some people's mind is the sitting president is from the northwest, as yourself is a former military general. Do you feel Nigerians trust the confidence that comes from those who think and say that they can fix the security situation in the country? I mean, from the experience that we've had in the past, when you say you have a solution to it, how can people trust you?
You see, as we always say in NNPP, and I believe the people of this country, especially the voters, the masses, the telecows of this country, we all believe that PDP and APC have failed. I was there in the PDP. I was in the APC. I have seen the way they operate. Certainly, that's why we have the issues on the ground. Our military, our security agencies are people who are well-trained, capable enough to handle such issues. But unfortunately, over the time, we have a leadership that did not keep their eyes on what is happening in the country, not only in the area of security, in all other areas. And that's why we felt that if we continue like this, it's just one way to serious
But do you have a solution?
Yes, of course, the solution is there.
What is
the solution? Is simply to ensure that our military, our security agencies are well kitted, are well supported in terms of arms, ammunition, and all what they require. Leadership should ensure that everybody is carried along so that at the end of the day, intelligence can come not only from the people who are paid to do it, but from the society itself.
A presidential candidate has said he will relocate to Sambisa Forest to quench the insurgency situation. Would you be thinking of that kind of move?
You see, you don't relocate. What can you do as what do you call him, president? You see, you can visit your troops where they are operating. You can give them all what they require. But if you relocate to Sambisa to go to do, what do you do in Sambisa? Are you trained to go and fight or to do what? But visits, yes. Support, yes. Training, retraining.
Will you seek foreign assistance?
And their welfare also.
Would you seek foreign assistance to help us fight?
Of course, we don't live. Nobody is today living as an island. No country is living on its own. We have to work with our friends. Our friends are all over the world. They are willing at any given time to support us because you see, we live in a small world today. It's a global village. What is happening today has an implication elsewhere, and vice versa. So we have to work with our friends.
Would you use mercenaries?
We can use anything, everything. We'll put it on the table to look at all possibilities. You see, what we have to do in this country is to do whatever we can to stop this mess. All these killings, all these fights, all these divides, Yoruba, Igbo, Christians, Muslims, all these things we have to come. And you can only come if you engage everybody. If everybody feels the government is free and is fair, and so on and so on. So that's what every president should do. Unity of the country, peace, of course, education, and so on and so forth, so that everybody can be involved in building our country.
Senator Kwankwaso, so we just have 30 seconds to go. And in these 30 seconds, I would like to ask you, sometimes what you know does not scare you as much as what you don't know, the fear of the unknown. Bola Tinubu doesn't have a running mate just yet. They say he has a placeholder in temporary position, Masari. Now, the thinking is the kind of profile and the pedigree, you know him very well. Are you afraid of what he brings to the table against you in 2023?
You mean Bola Tinubu?
Yes.
No, you see, all these two parties, just people are sick and tired. It does not matter if it could be Tinubu, it could be any other person in a PDP or APC. I can assure you the good people of this country are sick and tired because the parties have failed.
You will beat them? That's what you're saying?
Of course. You see, this our party is just 3 months. Now you mentioned we have 8 months. Many people are counting 2, 3 states. Some will even say NNPP is in Kano. Some will say in the northwest. Now I'm just coming from the northeast now. And I was in the southwest. I was in all other parts of this country, in the south, and so on. So I can tell you, every person in this country is looking for a way out. All these two parties have failed.
Right.
And we saw that long time before now.
Right.
But every day, more and more people are understanding that these parties have nothing to offer to Nigerians.
Senator Obi-Kwankwaso, the presidential candidate of the NNPP. Thank you so much indeed for coming.
Thanks a lot.
Tonight.
Thank you a lot.
And I wish you the very best.
Thank you. Thank you
Should
very
you
much.
agree or decide on your alliance with Peter Obi, do let us know. I will hope to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimberley. Bye-bye.